I think Talia's actually been a little bit modest here, but I just was going to ask you to just talk about the fact that your bill had actually died and what you had to do to bring it back to life, and also the award that you got.
One thing that I did not know when I submitted a bill is that it was never just given a hearing. People had to decide if it was to even be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember I had a couple days that I knew it was going to be heard, and someone said, "Oh no, it's not. It may not even get into these committees because without the hearing, it's not going to happen." So I was like, "Oh, what does this mean?" And they're saying, "Oh well, basically your bill is going to die in like 2 days unless something happens, unless Committee of Land and Water just allows it in." And I said, "Okay, how can I talk to this person?" And they said, you can try to email her, but she already looked at it, and I think she's not going to even try to put it through." So I contacted her, and I contacted, I think, a dozen other people that were in the Land and Water Committee, and they said, "Oh, well, I mean, we can't do anything. It's just this one person who can decide whether it's to be heard at all." And so when I didn't even get a hold of her because she didn't really want to hear it, and then she just dropped it. I remember I called in and they're like, "Yeah, your bill is no longer part of this. I'm sorry. I think if you come right now, you have like 3 hours to, if there's any way you can talk to some people, pull it back. Other than that, it's done. You know, there's nothing you can really do. I'm sorry." And I was like, "Wait, so that's it? You just won't hear it?" So I went over and I started knocking on all these doors, and so one senator said, "Okay, let me try to contact her." And some of the other people said, "Oh, I wish I could help you. I'm too busy." And so that one person contacted her and had her hold it till the next day, and basically just wait and not completely push it out, but not also let it have a hearing yet. So I had that happen 3 days in a row. So I just waited and say, is it going to pass? Is it going to have its hearing? Is it going to even be in here any longer? And he kept saying, "Well, I really don't know. This one lady has to decide." And then, and she actually is not very interested in having it heard at all. So there was a lot of that. And finally, she said, "Okay, I will hear it. But I don't think that even with the hearing that we're going to even put it into any committees. But I will have a hearing, but that's it."
So, and how did you bring it back to life?
It was basically just knocking on all those doors and contacting one senator that was actually willing to help me. And he wasn't even in the Water and Land Committee, but he pushed for it, and he kept contacting person saying, "Let's have a hearing. You know, after it's been through a whole bunch through the House, we might as well have it heard." And so it died, and then through all this stuff, we were able to bring it back, and then it died again.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of ups and downs, and during that time, I met with Tulsi Gabbard, who is our state representative, and she gave me this award from Congress, you know, for at least trying to do this project. She wasn't fully, she wasn't, you know, she was aware of it, and she was inspired by it, and so she gave me this award, but she knew that it was so hard to pass something like that. But she also did have some money set aside that if it did pass, we would be able to use that to help it go.
Yeah. Do you think that your young age was a limitation, or was it an advantage during the process?
It was a little bit of both. Some people felt like they were obligated to help me, and some people felt like I was not smart enough to handle it. Because I remember they would say, "How old are you?" And I would say, I'm 15. I just turned 15 like 2 months ago." And they would say, do you have any idea what you're doing? And I'm like, well, no, I don't. That's why I'm here. I want your help so I can do this, right? You guys are supposed to help me with this. And they're like, that's wonderful. I'm so proud that you're doing that. Good job. You know, that's kind of, I would get a lot of those responses. But, you know, it was really hard to get people to do something, and they would always give support, but it was just hard to get people to get into it.
Wow, well, not only are you a visionary, but you're a persistent visionary, so thank goodness for that. And it just goes to show that in most cases, it's the lobbyists and the money that gets the attention. So you're obviously the exception, so thank you so much for doing that. It's wonderful.
Thank you.